This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
Karibu sana, both of you. As we get into this conversation today, Dennis will welcome you with today's proverb. We'd love to get your interpretation of it.
Today we are in a country that is considered to be the kingdom in the sky. Why? Because the entire country is actually highest above the world in terms of it being over 1,000 meters above sea level. We are in Lesotho. The people of Lesotho are called Basotho or Masoto. Singular, Masoto. Wakiwa wengi ni Basotho. But let's go to the proverb. A cow is held by its horns, a person by their words. Bwana Savula, how would you interpret it?
A cow is held by
its horns,
and
a person by their words.
Simply the trust.
Mm-hmm.
You have to live by your word, and people have to get trust in what you say, because what you say is what the people see in you.
See in you. DJ Mwangangi, how would you interpret it?
There is also something else from where I come from. Tunasema mtu ne watu. It is the same as what you have just said.
Yeah.
If you are held by something, it means there is interdependence between what is holding you and yourself. In this case, it is about relationships. How am I clear? How do we relate? And I think it is one and the same thing.
All right. Well said. Well interpreted, Asante.
Asante sana, both. All right, so as we get into this conversation, of course, we see what would then be a peg for this conversation is that the most recent released reports from the Controller of Budget in terms of what counties are spending, and this is in relation to travel. But then, of course, what it does is that it's a peg for the greater conversation in terms of how counties are actually held accountability, because when you're talking about spending money, we're looking at 15 billion shillings more on shareable revenue that has been signed in by the president yesterday, and so up from the initial 420 billion, that comes to about 436 billion that goes to counties in this new year starting tomorrow. How can counties be sure, and we're talking about the people, be sure that the funds that are going to counties are actually doing what they're meant to do? Right now, recurrent expenditure, which is salaries and such, on the average is at 42%. The law says 35%. How are we going to make sure that the monies that come are actually going to what they're supposed to be and that there is no wastage at the seams at the counties? We'll start with you, Bwana Savula.
Actually, I want to thank the Senate and National Assembly for agreeing on the distribution of funds between the national government and the county government. There was a mediation, there was a problem at least, but they sorted it out. The president has already assented to the bill, and the money is coming to the county. Secondly, I want to thank President Ruto, because at the end of this financial year, he has submitted all the money that is required to the counties. In Kakamega, we received on Friday 2 billion. That is the money meant for May and June. So we are closing the financial year with all our resources.
Fantastic.
So what we need to do, actually we need to adhere to the principle of good budgeting and good expenditure. We have already done our budget, 16.7 billion for the entire county, and we'll ensure that what is itemized in that budget, if it's building a health center, it builds a health center. If it's going towards an ECD, it goes towards an ECD. Then we are also working on a system whereby we'll make sure that 35% of the revenue is actually goes towards development. Because many counties, they do a budget of maybe 40 for development, but they end up spending 20 on development because they have employed massively. So we're trying to reduce the number of employees. When they retire, we don't recruit immediately unless it's on need basis. For Kakamega County, the governor banned the recruitment of new employees until we ensure that we are within that threshold, so that we ensure more money goes to development than paying wages. Yeah. And we have also limited the number of travels outside the country.
As of when?
This year, I've only traveled out of the country once, because we don't see any need of running or globe-trotting instead of doing development in the county.
Yeah.
And Governor, I think, has traveled only twice this year. So we have limited. That's why we did not appear on the top 10 list of the counties that spend money on huge sums on travel, because we have limited. We want our money to do development in the county. We improve the living standards of our people. And I can give an example. We are now finishing level 6 hospital. That is the first level 6 hospital in Western Kenya. We have never had level 6 hospital. In the next 6 months, it will be up and running because we have limited our expenditure on non-development projects.
However, DG Mwangangi, we look at Machakos County has been listed as one of the counties that had spent a lot, especially when it comes to local travel. And one asked the question, whilst travel one would say is there has to be return on investment on what that travel then means to the county. Can Wananchi, residents of Machakos, say we spend, say, 300 million for travel and we see return on investment, say, double the amount because something has come out of that travel? Or are we just spending on travel because we can travel?
Well, that's a very good question, and it begs an answer. I'm sure it's a question that millions who are watching are expecting to hear what the thing is. But I want first to make it on record. I've traveled almost 3 or 4 times this year, but not on any public send. And not even an allowance from the county or on my own. Secondly, sometimes when you travel, it depends on what is dictating that you move. That traveling most of the time, I believe it's about maybe attending a training somewhere, an invite somewhere, and I think it has value in my view from where I sit. For example, we were doing county health reforms. There was a lot of outcry. And when we were coming in, there was a lot of every corner, and literally the health was literally death. So there was a lot of even internal going to see what is this other county like Nyeri, county of Nyeri is doing very well when it comes to issues touching on health. Murang'a the same. We had to move, because I'm saying this because I was involved, I was leading it. And today, as I sit here, anybody in Machakos can attest that we have moved from that deathbed to a healthcare that is making even our people not to receive proper healthcare because of other people coming from neighboring counties, where we are leading. Majority, almost more than half of the hospital beds across Machakos County, whether it's Mavoko, Machakos Town, those beds are occupied by patients from Nairobi. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm trying to say to emphasize on the improvement that the governor and our administration has managed to put in place. So for me, I'm seeing value for the money.
I want to ask the question, when you went to Nyeri County, what did you find in Nyeri County that Machakos was not doing that you implemented and brought about the change? Why do I ask that? Because if you look at what perhaps the other county has done, could be on policy perspective and directive. And if it's based on policy, shouldn't that just be a phone call away?
Well, sometimes you are right. It could be, you can communicate using technology. using phones and even emails. But I will tell you one thing, seeing is believing. Seeing how actually something is being implemented from point A through B to C, D is very important. So in terms of policy, yes, we saw and compared with what others are doing. And that is the reason within 3 years, we have managed to change healthcare status in Machakos County. So it is policy, plus also, somehow a human being has to be motivated in one way or the other. How do we do it? Different organizations have different parameters that they apply to ensure the same. Anybody who is motivated goes out of their way to deliver something to the benefit of the public who put us into those positions of leadership. So it's both management-wise, leadership-wise, and policy-wise. Yes.
Ayubu, what is Kakamega County focusing on that would then put pegs or rise in the development agenda that we speak about? Because when we look at county absorption reports by the Auditor General, we still see that across board, counties are pretty low on the absorption rate for development. Recurrent expenditure, of course, is the big ticket item here, as most of the money being spent. So aside from this level 6 hospital, which started in the term of the predecessor to Baraza, what can we say is being focused on in development for Kakamega County?
I'll mention, apart from the level 6 hospital, we have level 4 hospital in Butere, which we have completed, and it was officially opened by the president this year. We have also a stall project in Shinyalu that was level 4 hospital, that is Shamahuvu Hospital. We have completed, done and dusted. We have a tarmac road from Lumakanda to my home, Manyonyi, up to Pantrepa. It's 90% done, and we have spent almost 780 million.
County funds?
County funds.
Okay.
Yeah. We have a tarmac road from Mumias West through Navaholo up to Harambe. It's ongoing now, using the county, the county funds. We have expansion of Etenje, dispensary in Etenje called Luhongo, which had collapsed, but now we are redoing it. We've done several wards, maternity wards, and all our level 4 hospitals across the county. We have done now more than 66 ECD centers. More are complete, and we're continuing doing more. We have done 102 markets within the county, including those ones which had stalled. We are also finishing Buhungu Stadium, and by next year we'll be ready to host international matches. Yeah.
Kakamega, under the leadership of Wycliffe Oparanya, is said to have been one of the most progressive counties in the country, and there are a number of projects that he started. How many of those projects would have been completed now under Barasa and your term?
That's what you're saying. We are completing
the ones that he began.
Yes, Buhungu Stadium stalled, level 6 hospital stalled, Butere Hospital we have already completed, and the law says that when you take over the office, you complete the projects that have been done by your previous government before you begin the new ones. That is what the law says. Irrespective of your political differences, you have to follow what the law says. So you cannot just start new projects before you complete this one. The tarmac I've talked about, those are new projects. So we are completing the old projects, stalled projects, and doing new projects. We have done an industrial park at Likuyani. The national government has contributed 250 million. We have contributed 250 million. It's ongoing. That's a new project. In Lugari constituency, I've talked about the tarmac road. I've talked about several ECDs. We have also done a factory in Lugari constituency, maize milling factory. It's up and running. So those are there on the ground. In Malava, we are completing the dairy project that was initiated by Paranya. And I've told you, I was just, last week I was in Zambia. We are looking at the machine in Zambia, the milk plant from Zambia, which we need to import the same specifications so that we install in Malava, in the dairy factory, so that we can allow the farmers from there to supply milk to the factory and earn a living from that to supplement their normal production, because they are sugarcane farmers. So on daily basis, they need to get some money. So if we supplement with the dairy production, they will make money from dairy production. We have already established 3 new municipalities: Butere municipality, we have established Malava University municipality, and we're also doing Matunda municipality. That is just to ensure that we boost on an own source revenue so that we can invest in those towns and expand. So everything we are doing, we work through a budget that is focused more on development than travel or salary expenses. We are trying to minimize recurrent budget and increase on the development budget.
Okay, let's take a break at this point, because we want to come back and ask then, how do you make sure, absolutely sure, that every cent that is supposed to go towards devolution development projects actually goes toward it? And what are we doing to tighten the screws and essentially eliminate corruption from the counties? Because we know it exists. 2 deputy governors are here with us this morning. Francis Mwangangi as well as Ayub Savula here with us in the studio. We'll take a break. I want you to hold that thought, DG, if you can. We'll be back after this.
This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day. The Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
Alex Kiprotich, a city official of this media group, being part of the part of that group, and that is something being done by this government. So I think as part of the accountability, it's something that I should take this opportunity, wish them well, and say, hardest violation of the supreme law of this country should not be allowed to happen in this democratic era, unless we are going back to Idi Amin of Uganda's era, where if you have a different opinion with those in power, whether it's Safura or Mwangangi here, you start seeing funny happenings by our security agencies who are supposed to be guarding, not security agencies, actually the bad element within this service. And I think that was part of the promise by this government that once we are in, this will not happen. We are seeing it happening, including now, almost a year to election. I think that is part of the accountability we should be talking about today, not to divert from the counter affairs for us to be held to account.
DJ, even as we talk about accountability and some of the promises that were made during the advent of broad-based government and disappearance and police brutality being a promise that would come to an end, let's still focus on, say, Machakos County. Machakos County has been seen to be, it is considered to be the bedroom of Nairobi. Why? Because the city is expanding towards Machakos. You talk about Syokimau, Mavoko, and as you move forward. And many Nairobi dwellers live in those areas. One would then ask the question, what is the coordination between national government and Nairobi as well as Machakos in working together to ensure that resources do extend further into Machakos? That today, Wananchi are saying, we live in Machakos County, but our roads that ought to be done by the county are not being worked on. When it rains, it really pours, and we literally swim. Our houses have been flooded and all that. And this all comes into the funds that have come to the county, should go towards development in fixing drainage in the county, but that is not being seen. What seemingly is the problem as to why we are not seeing these things happen as should?
Thank you. Very good question. The coordination. First and foremost, allow me to say this. as per the law, the term used is collaboration between the two levels of government, whichever county Machakos included. Number two is the current central government is determined to kill counties in this country. Today, we know, and I'm not deviating from your question, it is partly what I'm answering. Today, we have agencies that are supposed to have been devolved long time ago and ceased to exist. One is Kenya Urban Roads Authority. Another one is Kenya Rural Roads Authority. All those roads which are being handled by these agencies are supposed to be handled at the county level. Today, those agencies are receiving billions of shillings, almost 3 times what counties are receiving. Look at even the water, because you have also touched on water. We have regional water development agencies. And those agencies, when you look at their allocation, it's once again enormous. Agriculture, the same. It begs a question. Why is national government appears like it is competing with counties? For what? That should not be happening. Those agencies should not be operating. I belong to a school of thought, through research and extensive research, that the way to go, the way to develop this country is through devolution. And I thank the third president of this country for establishing devolution in Kenya. We need to support it. And I believe actually what should be going to counties, what is currently going to counties should be remaining with the national government, and what is remaining currently with the national government should be going to counties. Now, to answer your question, there is something we have done. For the period we have been there, if you compare the administration that was there before the administration of the current governor came in, they did 6 roads for the entire 10 years. We have managed, as I sit here, we have managed to start to plan, procure, execute, and complete those 6 roads, 2 of them in the area you have talked about. The famous road in Syokimau that has been bringing trouble to the people around that area is by Kura. They started it almost 3 years ago. They have never completed.
Which road is this?
Whenever, sorry?
Which road is this?
The road leading to Syokimau. It starts here at there's a supermarket here entering all the way to.
It's Airport Road.
Yes, yes. It almost 3 years ago. The Kura started that road, and whenever there are some demonstrations and some chaos, they come. They say we have now come. And it ends there.
What is the responsibility of the county? What is the responsibility of the county in a road that is in the county that is bringing problem to the residents of the county in ensuring that that road is actually done? Or do you just sit and say, that is Kura's job, we will just sit pretty and wait?
We can remind them, one.
Have you?
We can write to them. We can urge them to do it. And we can only do a first aid using our county equipment. But we cannot procure. We cannot, the law prohibits us from, for example, saying we are going to tarmac that road. So we can only do a first aid.
So have you done first aid about Airport Road? Because I'll give you the information about Airport Road. It actually was completed. The road was completed, but not 7 months later. There are craters that have developed in that road. So it was not an all-weather road. It was not done to the state that an airport road, which incidentally borders an international airport, and was not completed to standard. And we can talk about the rumors and what the contractor said about the reason why he did not use fit-to-purpose material to do that road. Neither did he probably use the entire amount of budget that was given to him to use on that road. So today, we have the road that has returned to its original state, less than 3 years after it was completed. So what has the county government said in terms of first aid to urge Kura to come back on site and actually fix the road?
There is something I will tell you freely. It is illegal to do that. What you're asking me.
First aid, no, you said it. You said first aid. I'm asking.
Just a minute. The first aid I'm saying, actually it is something in the form of arrangement. Because if Auditor General comes, if these guys from ESCC comes, the governor there will be in hot soup. Because you are doing a function that does not belong to you, wasting public funds. What the first aid have referred to is whenever there is an outcry, informally we come in and do, but in the record we have not done, but we have spent public money in that particular project. So, by and large, we have to continue urging and pushing, writing to them, asking them to do, and probably doing that in formal way of using our equipment to ensure we do. But now a road that was tarmacked, sincerely, you know, you are putting me into a position which I would say I cannot answer on behalf of the national government. I can only say we did what we can do as a county. Yes.
Does this mirror a situation?
But then there is a part of the question which Dennis asked and it is not answered. Within the same area, Mavoko, it is true. Machakos County is considered as bedroom of Nairobi. There are 2 level 4 hospitals that have started and are about to be commissioned. One in around Syokimau, where there is this housing project, and there is another one in Adiriba, and all of them are nearly completion.
What, the road is near to completion?
No,
which roads? Or the commissioning of the project?
I'm talking of the hospitals.
Okay.
Hospitals,
okay.
level 4 hospitals.
Yeah.
I'm saying there is one in the river and there is another one here in Syokimau, which is nearing completion.
Okay.
Yes, by county government of Machakos. Yes.
Savula, what do you think is the need in terms of accountability? Because that's where we are now. Every now and then, the Public Accounts Committee will sit at the Senate and they will say, well, you had this amount of money, the 2 billion shillings, for example, that you say Kakamega has received as of last Friday. That at the end of it, where we come back and say, well, you were given 2 billion shillings. Well, every cent of the 2 billion shillings that has been given to Kakamega, will you be able to go to Kakamega and see on ground that every cent has been spent and that which has not been absorbed is back to the consolidated fund?
Yeah. Before I answer the question, I just wanted to assist my colleague here.
Oh, okay.
Roads are classified. They are county roads, they are Kura roads, they are Kera roads, and they are Kenha roads.
Yes.
And all roads are provided for in the budget. So if it's a county road, Kera cannot do it. If you do that road, you are allocating double resources on the same road. And at the end of the day, you are wasting public funds. An institution that is supposed to do its work, you leave it to that institution. Don't even bother reminding it. They're supposed to do their work. They're supposed to do their work.
So the first aid is not necessary?
The first aid is not necessary.
Secondly, when members of
the
parliament...
first aid is waste of public funds.
So when MCAs, as they're doing now, or would-be MCAs, and members of parliament who want to be MP of Mavoko, for example, come 2027, come and tell the residents of Syokimau that we will fix this road for you if you... They are lying.
That member of parliament from that area, that is a national function. You should follow up with Kera or Kura or Kenha. It's not the work of the county government.
So when they come and say that we will fix the road for you if you make me governor, it is a lie.
A governor cannot say, when you elect me, I'll fix this road. When she knows or he knows very well, this road does not belong to the county.
But did you want to ask the question? Even, you see, these roads that you talk about, right? As much as it's Kenha, it's Kura, it's Kera, they belong within our counties. And
Yes,
my question is,
when there is no budget for that
road,
road,
allow me to finish.
Yes.
My question is, as an administration that is in charge of the county, this road is in your county. As much as we know resources are budgeted for or belong to a different agency, what is the responsibility of the county government in pushing and making sure that the people of that county get the best value and access to resources that they do deserve? Do we just fold our hands and say,
we have
because these governments ought to be working together?
We have Inter-governmental relations committee. If Kura feels they don't have enough budget for this road, they will ask the county, come in. Then we have to put that money in the budget. It's not like it's money from our pocket, you just throw it there. We have had similar problems in Kakamega County.
Yes.
Like there's a national road from Shianda to Navaholo. Occasionally, it is terrible. It's not motorable. So what we normally do, we cannot allocate county funds on that road.
Yes.
Because we will be wasting public funds and we'll be attracting EACC for investigation. So we do CSR. We go and sit with Mumia Sugar Company because it's the sugar belt. We ask Mumia Sugar Company, through your corporate social responsibility, assist us to do this road. We have other roads. We go to West Kenya Sugar Company, tell them assist us to do this road. We go to Butali Sugar Company. That's how you can do it. But just taking government money to do another function which is not in your budget, my friend, you'll end up in jail badly. Badly.
So then how can you be sure that the money that you're actually given to do things in the county year on year is accounted for to the penny?
They are devolved functions. And when you're doing a budget, you do a line budget. If you're going to buy like a fertilizer, for the last 3 years, we bought fertilizer worth 2.2 billion. You say we'll buy fertilizer worth 500 or 600 million this year. And we distribute that fertilizer free to the farmers. We have the stores, the records are in the stores. We have the tender document that was placed in the advertisement. The evaluation team evaluated. Then it was awarded. Then the fertilizer was supplied. Then we distributed. Accountability is there. Then the Auditor General, at the end of the year, they look at the budget versus what you have done on the ground. If it's a road, like the way you've spoken about the standards, if it's a low volume seal road, like the one you're talking about, because national trunks are high volume seal. The Kera and Kura roads are low volume seal, the standards. Before the payments are done, engineers are supposed to go on the site and verify the amount of tarmac used, the sizes and everything before they do the final certificate.
Do they?
Before the payment.
Do they?
So if they paid and the road was substandard, anyone who was involved in that process must be arrested and arraigned in court. That's a waste of public funds. That is what the law says.
Yes, but is it done?
It's done. It has been done somewhere.
Where have we seen that that before engineers? That before engineers go on the road, before engineers establish a project, they go and they measure.
Yes.
The tarmac in terms of its thickness.
Yes.
And if it has not reached standard, they say, hold up, we've not finished the road, let us increase. Please give us examples of where that has happened. And in the event that it hasn't happened and the road has been done, the prosecution then follows and people are in jail.
You know, it's the work of the prosecutor. But I remember Moi's era. There was a PS called Akute.
Okay.
Akute. They did a substandard road, Tarbo Sirendu Road. Up to now, the president came to relaunch the tarmacking of the road. The president only fired them. But what should have happened? These people should be arraigned in court.
So, Ayub, it's not happening now.
It's not happening.
So we are saying that there's a problem here.
Because of corruption.
So there we
go.
Because
the contractor...
So there we have it.
Yes.
That then you're unable to answer the question of if 2 billion shillings is given to Kakamega County, and we will not then be able to trace every single cent of the 2 billion shillings because corruption is an issue. Is corruption an issue in Kakamega
Corruption
County?
is not Kakamega. Corruption is all over, national and county government. We cannot run away from that fact. We need to put our heads together as leaders. How do we combat corruption? It's not an issue involving the governor or deputy or a chief officer. Anyone is enticed to sign a document without even going to the ground to see if the job has been done or completed.
Yeah.
Because he wants to receive something small.
So,
And that is what we have to fight. Yes.
So you
because
admit-
you're wasting a lot of public funds. I'm shocked. You are saying a tarmac road here was done recently.
yes,
And within a short period, it's wearing out.
it is not
It
wearing
is
out,
supposed
it
to
is worn
last
out.
certain number of years.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what we're saying now then, and unfortunately this is an indictment on a county, it's an indictment on the entire country.
Yes.
If what we are saying is that people sit in offices, a site, the word itself invites the definition that a site manager is actually supposed to be on site to go and ensure that whatever you have on paper is actually
It's
the
actually
situation
done
on the ground.
Yes.
That doesn't happen. And people are sitting pretty in their offices. And we are here talking about the fact that devolution is working, people are doing their jobs, and that we're handling the development agenda of the counties. But it's not happening.
The
That
sequence of
corruption
event-
is the
the
cancer
sequence-
that is actually going to deconstruct devolution. Is that true?
That is true. The sequence is this. After everything has been done and payment have been made, the auditor should raise the red flag. Once he raises the red flag, the matter goes to the Senate. The recommendation from the Senate to EACC or DCI should be implemented. But most of the recommendation from the National Assembly and from, I've been in National Assembly for 10 years, and Senator, they are overlooked. They just close the file and throw them there. Yes.
By who?
By the institution like EACC, like DCI, the institutions that are supposed to follow up. They just ignore the reports.
I mean,
That is why we formed another committee to ensure that, when I was still in Parliament, to ensure that the implementation of those reports are done. They make a report. Oh, this governor is corrupt. He must be investigated further, because Parliament cannot charge the governor, or Senate cannot take the governor to court over corruption. The reports are submitted to EACC or DCI, depending on the level of investigation that is required. Further investigation, and that institution is supposed now to forward the file to DPP, then DPP will charge the culprit responsible.
Yeah.
So the level of implementation
yes.
of parliamentary reports is what brings issues
I
here.
want to bring in DG Mwangangi even as you respond to that. And the question here then for me is, in terms of quality assurance and standards that we have put ourselves, in terms of development that we give to the people. Like, for instance, I remember the time when your predecessor was constructing roads in record time. I remember, I don't know what road was that. And immediately after, that road was dilapidated. Today we're talking about the road in Airport Road as well, where today it is a road that is good enough for Rhino Charge, the sport, you know. And one asks the question, where we sit today, whether it's county or national government, in terms of our quality assurance and standard that we have set for ourselves as Wananchi, that this is the standard we hold ourselves up to. Do we meet that? And if we do not, is it because corruption is a reality that is making even the site engineers and the project managers to cut corners because they don't have sufficient funds to deliver the very best as prescribed by the law?
Dennis, I sympathize with you. We have a saying from the region I come from, which says, ile nguo umevaa ina resemble mwenyewe. Now, in this country, since this administration came to power, the administration of Safula, and by the way, he did not disclose in the region he comes from, is leading the re-election. That is very important. As he says, he has a problem with the corruption. You know, there's something I will say. There are two things this administration can, nobody talks about them in the public. And that is where the problem is. Number one, the issue of corruption. Actually, Sifula is the first person from this administration to hear him advocate against corruption. He is the first one, and I've sat with many. We were together in Parliament. And the second one is about the issues touching on abduction. When it is a national outcry, nobody from this administration talks about it. Reason, they know they have captured the institutions that are supposed to be dealing with what we are raising there this morning, including what Wood and you are talking about, including what Honorable His Excellency Sifuna is talking, Safula is talking about. Why? He is here talking about them, but at the top, nobody is interested. It is as simple as that. At the top, if today you elect a president who does not condone forced disappearances, it will not happen. It will not happen. If today you elect a president who does not condone corruption, I can tell you it will be minimal. At the top, if you advocate and you are sincere, you don't talk about it in public, and in private you do a different thing, it will not happen. If it happens, I can tell you somebody will be in court, and that case will not drag forever.
Do you therefore reckon that then, when it comes to development that we see in the counties, and that individuals who've been given funds to work on certain projects, that they are not given the best quality there is because they've had to part with kickbacks, that the quality that ends up on our roads, in our hospitals, in our water supply is because they have given kickbacks, that they don't have funds to complete the project as envisioned?
Personally, I do not have a single case from where I come from, but I've heard of those things. I've heard of those things. But I've heard my boss, not once, not twice, actually every public engagement, she tells people, if you engage, you are equally as guilty as the person you are giving. I've seen when she came in, there is a drastic action she took, which reduced some of these things we are talking about, like today, revenue. In Machakos, we found almost 230-something accounts and pay bills, but they were collapsed to at least one for health and another one for another general revenue. And that was all. It cured. In Machakos, you pay your whatever you are supposed to pay, even if it's market 50 shillings, you pay it online. You don't interact with cash. That reduced. And you know, from the top, you have somebody who is advocating against some of these things.
So why then
if you have somebody who is leading at the top, you expect most of the people to follow. And if I try to violate as an officer under Governor Wavinya Ndeti, the public will tell you, we were with the governor here. We heard him say this, and you are doing contrary. It hates. That's why I'm saying at national level, we need to see that strong appealing by our national leadership so that as a country we can fall in place. Look at what happened under President Kibaki.
I want to ask what's happening today under the current circumstances, because one of the worrying things we did see was that Machakos County, for example, is spending a lot of money on domestic travel. Over 200 million shillings in a year on domestic travel within Kenya. We're not even talking about what happens outside of Kenya. Knocking on 300 million. When you see things like that, does it make sense? Does it make sense that a county is spending upwards of 300 million shillings on domestic travel within Kenya? Does it make sense?
That is overall allegation.
No. It's the numbers that come from the controller of budget. It's not an allegation.
Yes. It is still an allegation, because that is what is coming from that particular agency, which I support.
The numbers come from the county government of Machakos.
Just a minute.
In terms of spend.
Just a minute.
Yeah.
You know, controller of budget has all that information. Most of these payments, my friend is here, he will tell you, are approved by the same agency. You can't go anywhere unless it is approved by the same controller of budget. But what I'm saying, if we go to specifics, we will see if it is justified or not. But when you look at it and we discuss it globally, as a county that has spent this amount of money, it looks bad.
Okay, let me break it down so it looks a little bit better.
Yes.
Kakamega got 2 billion shillings last week on Friday. That's the amount of money that you get for, it's the previous year's money, isn't it? It's 2025, 2026 to complete the things that you were going to do before, right?
Yeah.
How much does Machakos get? Quick number. How much does, over, ballpark, how much money does Kakamega County get in a year from shareable revenue?
In a year, I don't know what Kakamega gets.
No, I'm asking about Machakos.
Hours?
Yes.
It's around 12 billion Kenya shillings.
12 billion?
Yes.
So is it okay then to spend about a seventh of that on domestic travel?
What is the percentage of 200 vis-a-vis 12 billion?
I'm asking if it is okay in your perspective, because I've turned the question differently now,
Yes.
because we're not talking about 300 million shillings. We are saying a percentage of 12 billion shillings to the amount of 300 million shillings.
Which is?
I could do the calculation.
Yes.
But
Yes.
my question is it okay from your perspective to spend that amount of money on domestic travel? And if it is, would you then require to say, we traveled to the tune of 300 million shillings and this is what we see as a result of it?
From what I'm seeing as outcome in Machakos, I'm satisfied. This county, from where we took it from, I can say that is a small percentage.
Okay.
I will say so. Because it is only the shoe wearer who knows where it pinches most. Why am I saying this? When we came in, there was no structures different from at the county level, at ministerial level, at the departmental level. We have them. We had to go and retrain these officers. Most of the training is done within the county and sometimes outside the county. There is something in the law called public participation. Public participation is anything that you do as a county, you must subject it to the public for them to put their input. They say they want it this way, they don't want it, or they propose some changes. If you don't do that, you land in court and it is overturned. So many decisions, actually 3/4 of judicial rulings in this country is as a result of poor public input. So in this case, if I see on point form this, I will tell you, from Machakos' perspective, where I sit, it is something that is justified.
Okay.
Highly justified. And I can see value for money because of the quality of public services we are providing in that county.
DG Savula, do you think it should be within the law that county officials and county bosses should actually consume the services that they promote, health, education, across board?
Yeah, that is true. But I just want to clarify, every item in the budget is given a ceiling, a particular ceiling. If the travel allowance within, let's say, Kakamega County, you have given a ceiling of 200 million, we should not exceed that.
Yes.
But some counties, or even in national government, even some ministries, they do some supplementary budgets to increase the ceiling. Like you find they have exhausted the 200 million in travel allowance within 2 or 3 months. They do a supplementary budget, they add another 100 million, which in my view is wastage of public funds. Since I came in as a deputy governor, my first trip was to US, and I was going specifically to sign an MOU between the county government and an investor from the US for establishment of a fertilizer plant in Mumias West, which is going on, and we're going to launch the fertilizer fund. The fertilizer factory, organic fertilizer factory. My second trip was to China, and I was going specifically to sign an agreement with an investor who was supposed to supply a machine for establishment of Lugari maize mill. The maize mill is there and is already...
It's operational?
It's operational.
Okay.
So the trip you do internationally or locally must have value for the money. Value for the money. But I'm told some counties, even national government officials, have arranged international trip to go to the US for the finals of World Cup soccer. What value is it adding Kenya?
They're going in the next couple of days.
Yeah, they're traveling.
Nice. Okay.
Yes.
Lovely.
Which value is it adding?
And which money are they using to do
They're
that?
using government money,
So now,
taxpayers' money.
we now go back to my original question. That if Kakamega County receives 2 billion shillings, and then we find DG Ayub Savula going to Los Angeles to watch the final of the World Cup, we should have a problem.
We should have a problem.
Okay.
That is wastage of public funds. You should watch the match on the TV. But if you have your own resource, you can go. But don't use government resource.
Are we seeing? My simple question would be then, as county government, you inherited, say, the hospital, the level 6 hospital that had started, it was told. And if there was any corruption involved or there's a reason why it was told, are we seeing the county government then of Kakamega County under your leadership following up on what happened in the previous government administration, why that was never achieved? And we see individuals getting arrested and ending up in court because your business is not just to complete a project that had mistakes and corruption in it.
That's a perfect question. And I have a perfect answer for that. I'll give with an example. We have Madala Tea Factory that the county government had spent 70 million. But when we went to the site, we've just dug a hole, there's no even toilet, and a small site house. And they paid 70 million. As we speak now, the former governor was investigated over the same. The matter is EACC. The High Court has said that he should take a plea. They have appealed. The former director of procurement is still under investigation up to now, and he has been suspended. We relieved him of his duty as a procurement director when he was under investigation. The matter is still in court. The contractor is demanding for another 100 million for nothing done on the site, zero. And he has gone to court. So these things we are following up. And when EACC requests for a file, we hand over the file. Because we were not there when these things were happening. We have handed over several files for several projects. There are even some other projects which are non-existent, ghost projects on the ground. There's nothing. I can tell you the truth. Zero completely goes the ground, zero. Like we had in the budget about 300 million for completion of Butali Maleha Road. In the books, they have indicated it's done 30%. But there is no single kilometer of tarmac road on that road. So you see, tarmacking of this 30% done. And there's nothing completely. You know.
So it's very possible that we're looking at a situation whereby corruption is actually killing. It's chaotic.
And if we cannot put our heads together, leadership, we should not blame anybody. You're a leader, I'm a leader, the president is a leader. We have to put together our heads and fight the issue called corruption. Otherwise, we'll sink together.
Very last thought from you, DG Mwangangi.
Clarification. Level 6 hospitals. That is the perfume of
Yes.
national government. It's not counties. But you can come up with these county teaching and referral facilities. You can come up with a specialized facility. I am saying so because she has referred to level 6 somewhere. What I will say is corruption is like a cancer.
Okay.
And then it must be dealt with head on. To the public, and you know next year is an election. You bring people here who can say anything to tarnish the names of others and try to
make themselves look
better. Yes. What I will say here is the electors who are voters, we need to carry out massive civic education so that leaders we are going to elect are the leaders who are going to ensure they carry their aspirations with them and they implement that which is going to transform our counties and our country. And finally, if you campaign and you make a promise, please, once you are in the position of leadership, fulfill. We don't want these empty promises. They are killing this country.
He's the DG of Machakos County, Francis Mwangangi, with DG for Kakamega County, Ayub Savula. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. We go away with something that corruption is an issue. If you're not dealing with it, then we have a bigger problem. Thank you both for being with us this morning. Asante sana. Conversations continue at 12 minutes past 9.
94.4 Spice FM, Nairobi. This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
I am about 370 kilometers from Kenya's capital.